All right, good evening, everyone. So I have been seeing a lot in our Remax Ace family chat coming up. Oh my God, look how many offers. Oh my God, look how many offers. We are definitely coming out of that buyer's market. We're definitely going back into a seller's market. Things are hitting bidding wars. I put in several offers this week, got outbid, just surprised by how high the prices are going. So I thought we'll do a little refresher course on multiple offers and bid situations. So there's two sides. We're going to start on the listing.
Meeting, I got it.
Did you?
Buyer doesn't want to give the deposit check.
Oh no.
It's
So that's one of the things we're going to touch on. Yeah.
40 feet lots.
Right.
On Eglinton, Brimley and Eglinton.
Whoa, nice area too. So yeah. So this is exactly why we run into those pitfalls. So I don't know if you guys online heard that. Vivek was saying he had a situation where he won a bidding war and his client didn't bring the deposit check the next day. So that's something we're definitely going to touch on. So there's two sides. Okay. I think I'm going to try and focus on listing today. Because I always have a lot to say, I find, and I run out of time. I don't want to I want to make sure you guys are listing everything properly and dealing with your multiple offer situations. And then I think I'll do another topic maybe next week on winning the bidding war from the buyer side, how we win it, how we make sure our clients are protected, stuff like that. So starting tonight, like I was saying, we want to make sure that we're doing the right thing as the listing agent. Again, dealing with like any of the complaints that come in through the office. I see that, most of the agents are complaining who lose the bidding war. They're kind of sour after the fact. So you have to make sure that you're conducting your listing properly, that you're conducting your offer presentation properly in order to protect yourself, because even if you've done nothing wrong, someone will call and complain about you. Because if there's 15 bids, there's going to be one or two sour people that lost it, especially if they lose close to what the house actually sold for. Or sometimes in some cases, it could sell for less than what their offer was. So we'll touch on that, right? So I'm just going to go and share my screen here a little bit. We'll go over mishandling of offer process results in major fine. So we're talking, this is a RICO article here. This is sort of what stems it, right? This one's from 2018, but it's still valid for what RICO has to say in regards to the bidding wars. For listing representatives, fair handling of the offer presentation process is essential. So the reason they're streamlining them and they're making us do our 801s is because they want to make sure that we're doing a fair handling of the process. And we have to be able to prove that to the other agents bringing our offers in, right? Providing interested buyers a fair chance to put in their offer, improve their offer in a multiple situation is key to providing the best service to the seller client, okay? Mishandling the offer process can have serious consequences, and a recent fine of $10,000 provides a good example. So in this particular RICO case they're talking about, there was a $10,000 fine for the agent that mishandled the process. So there's your commission gone, right? Here's a sequence of events that resulted in disciplinary action for that agent. A registrant referred to as Representative A listed the property with a note indicating a delayed offer presentation, meaning that the representative would hold all offers and present them to the seller at a specific time and date. A delayed offer presentation requires written direction from the seller, which we'll go over and I'll show you. The listing indicated that all offers had to be registered by February 25th at 5 p.m. To register an offer means that the buyer or the representative has confirmed with the listing brokerage that they have an offer to submit. Super easy to do right nowadays, takes you 2 seconds. If you don't want to call it in, you just go onto their broker bay and you go and you register the offer there, right? Note said that the seller reserved the right to consider preemptive offers, also known as a bully offer, at any time. Representative A showed the property to his own buyer client and prepared an offer for seller's consideration. A buyer representative, referred to as Representative B, contacted Representative A and set up a viewing appointment for Friday 19. In total, there were 5 viewing appointments on February 19. Representative A did not advise Representative B that any offer had been received from his own buyer client. So there's a couple of things happening here. A lot of times when this happens, maybe you are getting your own offer, okay, but a lot of people, especially the buyer agents, the reason they make us page it out now is because they think that for nefarious reasons, we're trying to double end that deal. So we're not allowing those other offers in, right? So obviously this agent's thinking, hey, this listing agent isn't telling me what's happening because they want their own offer. They want to double end this deal, right? Representative B made a follow-up call to Representative A for more information about the property and left a voicemail. Representative A did not return the call. Representative B later received a message that the property had been sold. Then that appointment for Friday the 19th had been canceled. Okay. So again, this happens all the time. This has happened to me before. Some agents are still not running their bidding wars properly. If I wanted to waste my time and energy, I could probably do, 10 RICO complaints a year about agents who are mishandling these things, right? Because it does happen. And very often when you go and you look at the sold posted, it's saying, that it was either cooperated by the same brokerage or by that same agent. So they're double ending it. They're definitely trying to leave you out of the loop and not get you in on that offer process. That is incorrect, though. So we see in this situation that RICO discipline panel found the representative violated the code of ethics and got fined $10,000 for A, failing to notify all buyers who expressed an interest in the property that an offer was registered on the property and that the offer was from his own buyer client. So who's considered an interested party? Who would you guys consider that you have to notify? Do you guys know? Do you have to notify the people that have shown the property? Do you have to notify the people that have showings booked but haven't shown the property yet?
Yes.
Do you have to notify people who have booked their showing but canceled their showing?
Yes.
Yeah, you have to notify anybody who's shown interest in the property, because you don't know if they cancel because their client canceled and they're planning on rebooking in a day. Perhaps they could call their client back and say, we really need to see the property tonight because they've got a preemptive offer, right? So you're supposed to notify anybody who's shown interest in the property. How do you do that? Again, so much easier. Back in the day, we used to have to go through and figure out who had done the showings and keep a good track record of it. Now you literally just log into your broker bay. You just click on a message agents, and it'll message every agent, either confirm showing, done showing, canceled showing, time change, doesn't matter what they've done with their showing. It'll notify anybody who has shown any interest in that property. Okay. Failing to respond to Representative B's voicemail within a reasonable time. Failing to notify Representative B that a written offer had been registered or received for the property at the time they were making an appointment to view the property the following morning. And failing to obtain written instruction from his client to review offers earlier than the date on listing. Okay, so again, I'm going to show you that piece of paper where we're going to talk about how we get our clients. It's a document we don't get a lot of our clients to sign, but it definitely saves your behind if you get into trouble with RICO or if any agents are complaining about you. So what do you need to know? One element of that is promoting the property in such a way as to generate interest from multiple buyers who could then submit offers for seller's consideration. If the seller is considering a delayed offered presentation, it's reasonable expectation that the representatives would explain that the approach could prompt some buyers to submit preemptive offers, also known as bully offers. The written declaration must explicitly outline how to handle preemptive offers. In addition, if the seller changes their mind and decides to review offers before the previously agreed time, a new written direction is required to do so. The listing is then updated to reflect the change, and any interested buyers should receive notice so they are aware of the revised approach. So I'm going to stop right here and I'm going to go into the document because I think it's important that we understand what we're talking about right here. So let me just go and find the document here. Seller's direction. Okay, so let me stop the share and come back in and make sure you guys are all with me there online. Okay, so we have the seller's direction regarding property offers. Now, I don't know why this isn't a mandatory document. RICO is saying that they're going to ask for it, but we all know that a lot of us aren't using this in our listings. I don't see it posted. I see very few agents posting it with their listings. Okay, so seller's direction regarding property offers. So it's regarding the listing agreement for, you're going to put the property address between the seller and the listing brokerage, so Remax Ace. The MLS number, which you can fill in after, because most of the time when you're with your client, and I've had this signed, you don't know what the MLS number is yet. You haven't loaded the listing, okay? And they have some options here, okay? No conveyance of any written signed offers prior to. Now in this spot, you would put where your designated bid date is. So, pretend it's next, 6 p.m. on the 13th day of April, 2023, okay? Other directions. So this is where you're going to put in things that they say. So I'm going to say to them, okay, look, what do you want? Do you want to hit $1 million for this house? Great. If I get anything over $1 million, I'm to present this offer to you. Yes. Okay. So then if I'm going to post this online, I wouldn't put $1 million, but I put anything over agreed amount off. The seller will agree to review the offer, right? Or your client might say to you, I don't want to see anything until the bid date. Don't show it to me. Don't bring it to me. And you're gonna get your client to sign off and say, seller agrees there is no preemptive offer review before bid date. Okay. Now, even if you put this in your offer, Rico is kind of a funny bird, only because I've dealt with so many complaints from them. So I like to warn you guys ahead of time, because sort of after the fact, I've seen it happen to agents where they go, what? Okay. Say your client says, I do not want to see any preemptive offers. Okay. And one comes in. How do you save yourself? You send it to your client anyways. You're going to send it, you're going to send an email, and then you're going to shoot them a text and say, hey, you know, I understand that you don't want to review any. You don't want to, like, we're not getting into the bidding situation. You know, I told the agent we're not going to review it, but here's it for your record. And, you know, I've just sent it to your email if you wanted to take a peek at it, right? The whole reason is that there's been a couple scenarios, and I've dealt with them live, is later on the seller finds out that this offer came through. Okay. I denied it because he said nothing under $1 million, and it was $995. Okay. Now my day has come for my bid date and I've got no offers, which happens, right? Sometimes you can have 50 showings for a property and get no offers on bid date. Okay. Did you guys have a question online? Sorry. So what's going to happen now? My client's going to say, how come you never told me about that $995? I would have taken it. It's only $5,000 less, right? This is what happens at the end of the day. So even though you're going to get them to sign here and say no conveyance of offers under $1 million or under a certain under agreed amount, whatever you're putting on here, then you're still going to send it to them. You're still going to show it them. Your paper trail is always most important to you. So even if this isn't a required document, Joanne's never chasing you for the seller's direction. It's not part of what she needs. At the end of the day, just to save your hiney, at the end of the day, you're going to try and make it a habit to sign these along with your listings, just so you can say that these are the directions given by my seller if anything happens at the end of the day, right? Okay. Everybody good so far online? Okay, let me just go back in here real quick. I think we're pretty much at the end of this article. We'll just go over quick. What's the outcome? Representative A ended up paying the fine of $10,000. It says agreed to pay a fine. You don't really have a choice. When Rico finds you, you got to pay it, or they'll rescind your license. The decision is published on Rico's website. So don't only think, oh shoot, well, if I make a mistake, I'm going to lose that commission once, but I'll never make that mistake again. You're tarring your reputation, because if you go on Rico, they publicly post any agents that have been fined or received a disciplinary action. So you don't want to be that agent, because just imagine you're spending all this money on marketing, you're got your website up and running, you're about to go to a listing appointment, you've just flyered the neighborhood, they've invited you into their house, and they cancel last minute because maybe they Google your profile, you show up on Rico. Google, everybody Googles, right? And your Rico comes up there and they click on it and they go, this person had a disciplinary action. I don't want to use that agent, right? So very, very important to keep your records clean, do your business well, right? So I read, yeah.
What type of problem, like, what is the meaning?
So your Rico record, so meaning like, okay, if you get a complaint from the public or another agent, they fill out a complaint on Rico. Okay. The process is Rico reaches out to you and the broker of record. So Selvin gets an email here saying, hey, this agent, you guys, said that your agent did XYZ, didn't act fair and honest. In this situation, we're talking about multiple offers, but there's a million reasons that you can get complaints, right? Not canceling your showing, right?
But multiple offer is coming, you can accept.
You can accept, but you have to make sure that you follow the mandate set out by Rico, saying that this is the most fair and honest way for you to conduct that multiple offer situation, right? That's why we're taking the time to go over this tonight, because I want you guys to understand you get all the offers, but you have to make sure that there's a whole process, okay? So first offer comes in, it says you have to let everybody know, anybody who's shown interest. So like I say, now it's so easy. There's really no excuse for us not to. You go onto Broker Bay, you say message agents. And again, if you guys say, you're Christine's saying all of this and I'm going to watch this video back, but I still don't know how to do it, call me, come into the office. You guys got your first bid date going on, because they're happening now. If you have any listings, if you have your listing and you load it and you get in a multiple offer situation, just come and sit in the office here and then call me over every 2 minutes, right? We'll make sure we're dealing with it fairly, right? So we're gonna send a page out to all interested parties saying that this is what happened. We received one offer. We received 2 offers registered, 3 offers registered every single time something comes in, right? So a registrant shall treat every person in the registrant deals with the course of a trade in real estate fairly, honestly, and with integrity. So they talked a little bit about not returning that agent's phone call. I'm sure you guys have had some agents that you've just chased down and they just don't return your phone call. You know what I mean? You can actually complain to Rico about that because that's not considered a practical, fair way to deal with business, just to not return someone's phone calls, especially since we have clients to answer to. So Rico considers that a big thing if you're ignoring another agent. It's not good if you block them, if you turn your phone off, if you don't return their message, right? You're supposed to be answering your phone, you're conducting business, and Rico doesn't they will slap you for sure on that. If it's your first time, you might get a warning, but definitely if it's your habit, get out of it. And return even if you don't really like talking to that agent because they're nasty or you hate them, you have to return the phone calls. So that's a big thing, right? Best interest, a registrant shall promote and protect the best interest of the registrant's clients, and then a registrant shall use the registrant's best efforts to prevent error, misrepresentation, fraud, or any unethical practice in respect of a trade in real estate. So there you go. That's Rico's take on it. Okay. So we're going to go here. We're just going to give example of listing pages that we sent out. So I literally took this from, this is my setup. I go to the same setup and I just sort of change things around in it. So here's an offer update. Thank you for showing the property, 120 Harvest Moon. This is a listing I had last year, right? I'd like to inform you that 2 offers have been registered. If your client is interested in submitting an offer, please call or text me and give our information, right? After an offer has been accepted, just because you told them that, oh yeah, no, we've got offers. What about everybody else? You've got 15 offers. What do you do with the 14 others? You have to notify them that offers have been accepted, right? So again, just a little blurb, and see, you can make it easy for yourself. You don't have to write out all these emails. I just go and copy paste in here and I send out the address. I just change the address and send it out on BrokerBay. Literally, it takes me less than 10 seconds, right? Thank you for showing this property, 170 Tarosa. Thank you for all your hard work and patience this evening. We'd like to inform you that a firm offer has been accepted waiting on deposit. So you can kind of, word that the way, if it's sold conditional or it doesn't matter, whatever you're doing, just to inform all the agents that an offer has been accepted. See, I do it for price change, sold firm, all of them. These are my regular pages I send out. So I literally just took my own document to show you guys. You guys can make a quick cheat sheet yourself if you want to do that. I'm going to go here now and see.
That only RE/MAX agents send this to me. Most of the agents is.
You want to know why? I'll tell you exactly why RE/MAX agents do it. Because a lot of offices out there, until recently, it's become a recent thing. And I can even say that for my last office I was at, they weren't using BrokerBay. Okay. BrokerBay is expensive. It's because you pay per agent, right? As an office, but it's such an easy tool to use, right? If you're using TouchBase or Showing Time or whatever, if you guys have ever used those for your broker, what does your brokerage use? Yeah, it does. See, so BrokerBay is the way to go. It's difficult. It's not as easy to make those pages out. And a lot of them didn't even catch up to the times and have this function to do that, right? So imagine now you're an agent and you had 50 showings or 35 showings for this property. You've had it up for a week. You've got to take 50 email addresses and type each one an email. You know what I mean? That takes time. A lot of agents are too lazy for that. And you're in the middle of the bid and you're dealing with all the offers that came in. You've got 10 offers. I got to email 50 people now. Forget about it. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't do it. So that's probably why. It's funny that you say that, because RE/MAX, most of RE/MAX you find are using BrokerBay because they're top end brand. And if you're a brokerage, if you're an RE/MAX brokerage and you're not using BrokerBay, I don't know. I wouldn't go to that RE/MAX, right? So yeah, it's funny. You should say that for sure, because it was really difficult. I've used other systems before. I was on TouchBase before and it was not user friendly. It was such a pain. You had to do a lot of things individual. So, okay. So we got another half hour to go. We're going to deal on the listing side still, how to handle your multiple offers and bidding wars on your home. Okay. So we want to know how to deal with a bidding war. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to tell your client what the pros and cons are, right? So what you're going to tell your client is, what are some of the pros? What are some of the pros of having a bid date? We have to explain to them, because a lot of our clients, even if we think it's the best course of action, we're still, again, mandated by RICO to explain to them, what an offer date is and what are the pros and cons of it, right? So pros are, you're gonna lessen your showing time because we're trying to hammer it down to a week, okay? I'm not gonna let this listing sit up for 20, 25 days and hope for an offer to come in. I'm gonna tell everybody there's a bid date on, the 14th of this month. So you better get your client in to see it before the 14th because it's probably gonna be sold, right? We're gonna have multiple bids coming in at the same time. So the phenomenon of that happening is that we're pushing up the price to max value when we do that, because while I might not be able to take an individual and go back and forth several times, when they have the pressure of other offers around them, people generally put their best foot forward, right? Okay. What are the cons? Sometimes you get 50 showings and you're slammed with showings and you don't get an offer at the end of the day. So it's possibility this might not work. Okay. There was a rickety time in the market over the last year or so, as the rates were going up, that they slowly dwindled away. And I tried a couple and they failed, but I told my clients, look, we'll try this. They're kind of phasing out, might not work. What do we do at the end of the day? We just go back up for true price then. Okay. But you can't go backwards. You can't put it up, decide you're getting tons of interest, then relist and drop the price and then set a bid date. I find it's not as aggressive that way. Your best bet is to start off, at least in my opinion. I mean, if you guys have a different opinion, I'd love to hear it and your experience with it. But my experience is starting with a bid date is the safest because it doesn't hurt you if you don't get what you want. Your client is not, they don't have to sell. I always tell them it's their commodity to sell at the end of the day. So they could put it back up for true price. Then it's not really that harmful to the listing, right? So dealing with a bidding war on a house is far more common today than it used to be. Again, it's come back into the market. There are times when sellers will price their home lower than it's worth just to start a bidding war. So generally that's our strategy. We're pricing it lower. Okay. So what are you doing when you're getting a bidding war, when you're loading that listing? What's the best strategy for you as a listing agent? Okay. I find when I sign my listings, right? If you're signing it a few weeks ahead of time and you have a listing coming up, I would not decide on price with my client right then and there, because what I want to do is I want to know that I'm putting it up for the best price possible. I'm really going to shove this bidding war into, a frenzy. I want it to everybody fighting over this property, right? So I always tell my client, like literally the day that I'm going up, I'm going to quickly take a look and see what's going on in the market. You won't believe it'll save your butt sometimes, because in Oshawa, I was putting up a listing on Wilson. I believe it was 2 years ago now, but I just joined this office. I think I was putting up a listing in Wilson. They were planning on going up for, I want to say $8.99, and down the street went up for $7.99. Very similar house. And I'm thinking, I don't want them to steal my traffic. They don't know that I'm about to go up, right? But I was about to go up at $8.99. I look and literally down the street, $7.99. So I told my client, she nearly had a heart attack. I said, look, you kind of have to put your mind and faith in my hands, because the beginning price doesn't matter. We all know that, like it says here, we're underpricing it to push the price up. Okay. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to absorb as much traffic as that listing is. Okay. So my strategy is that you always have to be aware what's happening in your surroundings, what's happening in your neighborhood before you load that listing, if you want to be a smart agent, right? So how do I handle multiple situations? Okay. Let me see here. One of the best ways of getting multiple offers is in a strong seller's market is to defer your showings for a short period. So we talked about that. List your home on a Monday or Tuesday into MLS, but don't let anyone in your home until the weekend. You can't do that. I don't know why they have that here. This is probably not a Toronto-based thing. When you load a listing live, it has to be a showable property. If it's not, you suspend your listing, because if a lot of agents are calling you and you can't show it for some reason, Treb's going to catch on and call you, because they'll probably get a complaint come through. Okay. But what you can do is you can make sure you put it up on a Monday. I always like to span over a weekend for our listings, because more people have time to view stuff on the weekends generally. And sometimes you have fussy clients and they might say to you, look, 9 to 4 isn't good on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I always say to them, for 1 week, can you just make it work for me? I don't want to refuse a single showing, because they might not come back, because we all know that maybe our client decided to look at houses on Tuesday with us. They look at 5 and they can't get into our property, and then they don't go back out that week. So I've lost them in my pool of potential buyers for that week, right? Maybe they're not going out to the following Tuesday with their realtor again, right? So I encourage my clients not please don't deny any showings. Please give me the week. Just let me throw everything at you unless it's something really inconvenient you can't avoid. I'm going to do every single showing that gets requested. Okay. So encourage them, right?
So you would recommend offer presentation on Monday or Tuesday?
So any day is good. Here's what I try to avoid. And that's, again, if you, anybody online or here disagrees with me, tell me. This is my personal experience. I don't like doing it on a Friday. I find I get less offers. Like agents are human. They want to go out. They want to have a social life, right? So I rarely do Friday, Saturday kind of thing. You got to make sure it's not a holiday. So I told my clients, look, I got to have the bid date before Easter weekend because Easter's coming up. A lot of people are busy. You know, even if it's not your religious holiday, people are going to take advantage of the long weekend. They're going to go away, right? Long weekends in the summer, people are away. They're at cottages. They're doing stuff, right? So you be mindful of those things, okay? Some people, I mean, I've run into some things and I can't think off the top of my head what culture it was, but some don't like to do business on certain days, you know, stuff like that. Be mindful of those things, but unless you're in a pocket where it's really only that culture, I find weekdays work well. I like Tuesdays and Thursdays, you know, I tend to do my bid dates on, but definitely I stay away from Friday, Saturday, holidays, and long weekends. Not happening. Handling multiple offers. Keep in mind there are 4 scenarios when dealing with multiple offers. So this is how you explain to your clients what happens when you get multiple offers. So you go back to all offers with best and final. You'll be asking each party to come back with their highest bid along with their best terms. Accept one of the offers on the table. Maybe one offer is just head and shoulders above the rest. Okay. Negotiate with one or more of the offers, but exclude some on the table. Maybe a few offers are really low or have terms that are acceptable. Reject all the offers. None of the offers happen to be acceptable. Okay. I try to avoid excluding other offers because sometimes people will just surprise you. Okay. There's no harm done. If you have 5 offers and 3 of them are really, really low, if you get all 5 to come back and 3 of them are still really, really low, there's no harm done to you, right? It just takes you a little longer to review offers, but really and truly, you'd be surprised. I had somebody who, say I had 5 offers. I don't remember the exact scenario. It was 5 offers, say, and the person who was second to last ended up winning. They jumped up like 150 grand. You know, normally when you ask people to improve their offer, you're expecting like a $20,000 or $40,000 increase. They just jumped because we had told them, we said, no, you're in the bottom of the pile, but we're giving everybody a chance to come back with their best. And they came back with their best and they won. I think it was that Tarosa listing in Markham, honestly. So when you are doing this kind of direction, again, just like when you're getting 1 offer registered, 2 offer registered, you have to page it out. You still have to page it out to everybody. You have to say to everybody, okay, I'm writing this email to all of you, or send them all the same text. We're giving everyone the opportunity to increase. Okay. You come with your best and final. We will be picking out of the next round. Okay. One additional nugget to be aware of, according to Article 115 of the Realtor Code of Ethics, multiple offers do not have to be disclosed, although I'm not sure why you wouldn't. So multiple offers should be disclosed. Regal wants you to be fair to everybody, but you do not have to disclose the amount, right? Okay. You cannot disclose the amount. It's illegal, right? I actually had an agent say to me, didn't that change? That changed recently. It changed. And I went on and got on the phone with Rico just to make sure. And I assure you, as of like earlier this week, when I was talking to Rico, that has not changed. Okay. You are not allowed to disclose the amount to other agents, and other agents will hunt you down for it. They will bug you. You just have to be really tough, and you got to get used to saying, hey, look, I'm not allowed to discuss this amount. Okay. You're not even really allowed to tell them, well, you're the top 1 or you're in the top 3. You're not allowed to say these things. Okay. You're not allowed to give them direction. All you're allowed to say is we're giving everybody the opportunity to improve. Okay. So come back with your best improvement. Right.
When you say your city, we will know.
So this is what I'm saying. You're technically not even allowed to sort of veer them in a direction so that they have an edge and they can go, oh, okay, so I'm in the middle, right? And then let me figure, if I'm in the middle, then they jump the 2 other people and they come up. So it's hard, it's tough. Yeah.
As for example, you write down 849.
Mhm.
I offer around 855.
Hmm.
After that, you have to tell me, otherwise how do they know how much I have to increase?
This is the thing. Rico and everybody doesn't care. I'm not allowed to disclose the amount to you. So it's your job as the buyer agent to be going and doing research and educating your clients about that neighborhood. So I'll give you an example, okay? It works in a good way for your clients too, okay? I was in a bidding war 3 nights ago, earlier this week, property in Markham, okay? I already knew that these people bought it for too much. They bought it for 1.9. It was way overpriced. They bought it in the high time. They have it listed, I had it listed at 1.588 and set for a bid date. So my clients put in 1.7 to start because I looked at the neighborhood sales and it's a beautifully done house, but the highest sold was 1.658. And I told them, you know, I guess because it's really gorgeous and the market's a little bit better since that one sold a month ago, it's a little healthier. I feel comfortable putting it at 1.7 for now, right? They love the house. They came for second round and they're like, should we put 1.8? Now it's really easy for you as an agent to go, oh yeah, they're gonna win this. I got a good commission coming, right? But you have to be mindful, right? Lost the bid. I lost the bid. I'll tell you why. I looked and I said, I don't feel comfortable with 1.8. Okay, what's gonna happen? The market isn't there yet in this neighborhood. It hasn't come up that much, right? That's $150,000 more than the last sale. So now if your appraisal comes in low, I told my client, you're gonna have to come up with that cold hard cash. How much do you love the house? If your appraisal comes in low, will you put 50,000 for the difference in the middle? I don't know. And I said, okay, so if let's increase to 1.75. Okay. If it sells for 1.8 tomorrow, will you cry? Or are you going to get mad at me? Because I'm telling you the truth. I will put in 1.8 for you right now. It's my job to educate and protect you, right? No, we won't cry about it. We lost the bid. The next day I followed up. They didn't take any offers that night. Okay. They had like 12 offers. Nobody came that high because all the agents are educating their clients. That's good business. Now, if it's sold over and it went for a crazy amount, I'm going to tell you, I would have been ticked off that next day. I would have been, what crazy client did, or sorry, what crazy agent did that? Who would do that to their client, put them in that situation, right? But it seems that every agent working that night definitely went in with class for their client and they didn't let any of their clients overbid for that property. They relisted at 2.1. I was like, are you ridiculous? There's no way. They're going to be sitting on the market forever. That listing agent needs to have a talk with their clients, right? So they need to educate them on the price for
That's what
sure.
happened to
Mhm.
my buyer client too.
Yeah.
It's good, we lost, and that's the same way I explained, we lost the bid.
Yeah.
There was no finished basement, nothing.
Mhm.
It went for 1.150.
Mhm.
House is worth like 80 million,
Right.
1.150. So we lost that. We got a very beautiful house for that price,
Mhm.
even like bigger house than
See, yeah,
yeah.
your clients will be happy with you at the end of the day. And I know it sucks. Hey, you know, I would love $2 million commission coming my way, you know, from 2 nights ago, but you just gotta you gotta do good business at the end of the day. That's your repeat, your referral, that's your lifeline. To not always be chasing business. That's why I keep on saying, don't always be chasing business, right? You want business to come back to you, repeat referral once you get into the career, right? Let's see here. The highest offer is not necessarily the best offer. So you're going to be going through and you're going to be seeing, okay, this one has a really high offer, but maybe the terms aren't good. Like the closing date isn't good. Maybe the deposit isn't that great. Okay. Maybe they have conditions in their offer. Okay. So you have to be really careful as a listing agent to look at the whole thing, not just the price. Don't let your clients get carried away at the price. If they're giving me the most amazing price, but they're giving me a very small deposit, okay, what's going to happen? Okay, so I always go back to the same example. 2017 to 2018, we had a similar market, okay, where there was crazy bidding wars, and then all of a sudden it halted, right? Just like our market did at the beginning of last year with all the rate hikes starting, right? And what happens when it halted? All the values went down. So anybody who had long closings, people were looking at their deposits and they're going, well, I only gave this little deposit of $40,000, but the price has gone down 100,000. I'm going to walk away from the sale. I'd rather lose 40 than 100, right? So you always want to make sure that they're offering a heavy, good deposit. We're always looking for that 5%, right? So if you're in the range, you know, you're getting into 1.5, 1.8, you know, you want to make sure you have that, $85,000, $100,000 deposit sitting there. As a listing agent, you want to ask for a stronger deposit. So if you got the highest offer, it's got a thin deposit, I'm gonna go back to that agent and say, you gotta make this deposit stronger for my client to consider it. They don't like your deposit. Closing date, right? If it's a vacant property, maybe you have the best offer, but it's not closing for 6 months. Okay. But this guy's got $10,000, $15,000 less. I'm gonna give it to them because they're closing quicker. I have to carry the house. How much money am I losing carrying this house for the next 6 months, right? Another thing as a listing agent, you want to make sure that you have the deposit with you. Okay. A lot of these bidding wars, they're having the deposit come with, right? So what's the point of having the deposit here with? It's a really important thing because personal experience that happened to me up in Markham. I was selling this property and my clients didn't listen to me. I'm always giving them the best advice. And I'm telling them, you know what, this person who was $10,000 more and this guy was $10,000 less. This agent is standing in the driveway and his clients have the deposit check in the car with them. These people don't. They just emailed me this offer. Take the guy who's standing in your driveway, okay? And again, I forget the price off the top of my head, but say it was $1,420,000, right? And this lady had $1,430,000, okay? That's sort of the difference, okay? I'm like, what does it mean to you? He's standing there with the deposit, take it. The next day, what happens? This lady doesn't come in with the deposit, okay? So by noon, I've had it. I call agent B back and I say, hey, listen, I haven't even talked to my clients yet. I'm fixing the problem before I could even call them and tell them they should have listened to me last night, right? I'm calling, and what's going to happen now? $1,430,000 guy now, or $1,420,000 guy, instead of being 10,000 less, because it was $1,430,000, $1,420,000, he goes, yeah, but now it's the next day. My clients are only going to offer you $1,400,000. So what are we going to do now? We've lost however many bids we had that night. Say we had 10, right? We took this one because we wanted the greed of 10,000 more. We've lost 9 bids, right? And the next day we're $40,000 less now. We're not 10,000, right? So definitely you want to try and advise your clients that it's a good idea. People that have their deposits here with, if it's a negligible amount in the offer, it's a good idea to accept that offer, right? And again, we want to talk about firm and versus conditional offers. Firm offers, we want to see those firm offers, okay? Because we don't want people to fall through the next day, right? We don't want people to say 4 days from now, yeah, we didn't like the inspection. You just had that big, beautiful bid date with 10 offers. You're going to lose all 9 others while these people go over their conditions. So if you can get firm, it's good. Now, how do you encourage firm offers? Okay. On your freehold purchases, on your freehold listing, sorry, it's a good idea to get a pre-list inspection. Okay. All the inspectors do it now. You can call and you can hire them to already do the home inspection of the property. So you can have it there on the table, or you can have it in PDF form and you can email anybody who asks you. So people feel comfortable that they're not going to come across any hiccups like major foundation problems. They have an idea, the age of the windows, the roof, anything they might come up for maintenance for this property, right? So that's going to encourage people to ditch the inspection clause, okay? The finance clause is 100% on them. You do not ever guarantee that, oh, no, the appraisal is going to come through fine. Oh, no, for sure. No, I got a guy who can close it for you. If your mortgage guy can't, you don't want to get yourself into that mess. It's up to them. Then they're going to have to discuss with their agent and their mortgage person, okay? If you have a condo, you want to order the status certificate ahead of time, okay? Don't get to bid date and have them go, okay, well, now you've got a conditional offer. I just got 10 offers. I'm taking a conditional offer that gives them 10 days to cool off, because sometimes it can take up to 10 days to get the status certificate, right? You definitely want to make sure you're getting them to order the status certificate ahead of time and have it in hand for offer date, and anybody to review before offer date. Take it to your lawyer, go review it so you can give me a firm offer. I don't want to see the status certificate clause on there, right? So these are ways that you encourage people to help your sellers get a firm offer on the property, right?
Can the buyer not choose to keep the deposit next day?
No. So we go over that. I was not this round. So probably what's Tuesday? Tuesday, I'll probably go and I'll do the whole multiple offer from the buyer side. We'll talk about that, but they cannot, it's a legal document that they can be held accountable for, right? And the sellers can sue them. And they can not only sue them for the loss of the deposit, but then if they turn around, like you saw, and the day after the bid date, they get a much more deflated price, they can sue them for the difference, right? of the price that they got because of that error, because they made them miss out on all the other offers from the night before, right? So in that case, I can sue, if you didn't bring your deposit check, I could have sued for the 40,000 I was missing, plus whatever your deposit, you know what I mean? I can be suing for everything because it should be at my office, right? Within 24 hours. So we should be explaining to our buyer clients that they have to have a tangible amount within 24 hours, right? It has to be something they can pull out, right? So can the buyer afford the offer? We're gonna try and pre-qualify that buyer. So we don't have much control over that buyer. And of course, every agent's gonna try and say that they're wonderful, they're great. If they have a pre-approval letter, great. A lot of times you're not getting shared that information. So we want to see that they can afford it, yeah, by asking their agent, who's gonna tell you, oh yeah, no, they're pre-approved, they're awesome, their mortgage is great. Sometimes it isn't. But you want to, we're talking about that deposit again. We want to make sure they have a nice fat deposit and that they're able to carry it, you know what I mean? Maybe a little bit, just talk about them. Tell me about your clients a little bit. Well, you know, he's a doctor and she works as a nurse at the same hospital. Okay, you know, maybe they're going to get their mortgage done. Try and find out a little bit about the buyer. So I always try and ask the question from the buyer's agent, tell me about your buyer. What are they? Are they a family? My client wants to hear about it, right? And is your home worth that much? So again, this is about running away with price. Say I've done my CMA, I've listed this property and I've told these people that, look, you're going to get 1.1 for your house. And we got to smoke an offer for 1.250. What am I going to do? I'm going to tell my clients, don't take it. I'm going to call the buyer agent and I'm going to say, listen, this house, you've done your market research? Yeah. This house, if it doesn't close, you're able to come up with $120,000 difference because, you know, my clients would love to accept your offer. I just want to make sure that your clients can come up with that difference, right? Because if the appraised value comes in lower, your clients have to come up with that cold hard cash, right? So don't get blown away as a listing agent and go, oh my God, good, we got one for 1.250, right? When it's only worth 1.1, because you're doing your client a disservice. You're supposed to be the knowledgeable one. They don't know, they just see the money, they just see the dollars. You're supposed to know that the neighborhood isn't going for that much. And like, kind of, you know, it's a red flag. Hey, maybe we shouldn't accept this offer, right? Is the buyer paying in cash? So again, we're talking about the mortgage conditions and stuff like that. Look closely at contingencies. So what have they put in there? You've got to read all those clauses. I find some people, I think it's so funny, you get your client to sign, but you didn't read the schedule that the agent wrote in there. There's clauses that they could stick in there that are crazy for your clients. They could say they have to buy all new appliances, or that they're required to pay the hydro bill for the next year. They could put anything they want in there. So you have to make sure that you're reading the clauses clearly. Sometimes if you're accepting conditional offers, even too, I've seen people try to change the dates and times. We're used to seeing 5 days. So if you just read the beginning and say, oh, conditional on finance, okay, conditional inspection, you don't read the rest of the clause, maybe you're making them sign 15 days. You know what I mean? And they've changed it. So you have to read all those clauses very, very carefully in the contract. How long to close? So you want to get the sale done as quickly as possible. And why is that? Because we're constantly in a changing market. You see, if depending on how long you guys have had your licenses, that it's gone from a seller's market to a buyer's market. And before you can blink again, we're back in a seller's market, right? How do you avoid stuff happening? Short closes. There's not a lot of change happening in the market. I always tell my clients, they're like, I'm working with elderly people right now, and they said, please put a 90 or 120 day close on our sale because I want time to look and purchase. And I said, well, I hear you, but I promise I'll work every single day with you hard. Long closings scare me. I don't like it because we run into that appraised problem where if the market goes down, then, you know, people just are walking away from the sales, or they don't want to close, or they're unable to close because of the appraisals, right? Clarify what you want and base your decision on your goals. If you want the most money possible, you think your home is worth the price, take the highest offer if it makes sense to you, but know that it's okay to take a lower offer if it gives you what you want. No contingencies, quick closing, cash, whatever else suits your goals. This is also true. So my one and only, and I'm going to knock on wood, RICO complaint that I ever had come through was from a multiple bid situation. And it was before they were even that popular. It was years and years ago. I want to say 10 years ago. I sold a house on Brimley and Lawrence. And this guy lost the bid and he was really ticked off and he complained about me the next day. And I'll tell you why. The house ended up selling for, I don't know, I think it was $10,000 less. Okay. So he's thinking, what the heck happened? So he wrote this huge RICO complaint, said that they took a less offer. There had to have been some adjustment in commission. Oh, by the way, that's a side note. Not only do you have to disclose anything that's happening with the offer, how many offers you got, or if everybody's going on sign back, if there's any reduction in commission, say you Taposh say you're going to reduce your commission. I can't keep that between me and you, the listing and the sale. I have to page it out to everybody. So I'm gonna have to page Johannes and Kamala, everybody. I'm gonna have to say, well, there's been a reduction in commission. I don't have to say how much, but everybody has to be aware of the situation, okay? So he thought that we were, there was a disclosure I didn't do. I didn't tell everybody that we were taking a less of a commission or something, which wasn't true. What happened was this old guy had lived there for 45 years. His wife had passed away and he loved his neighbors, right? And he had a nice family that moved in next door, I guess 4 or 5 years prior. And he happened to meet these buyers when he was on his way out while they were coming in to do a showing one day. And he thought they were a really nice family and they'd get along really well with the people next door. So he took $10,000 less. I mean, what's it to him at the end of the day to leave a house that he loved and he raised his family in, for $10,000 less. He doesn't have a mortgage, right? Didn't mean anything to him. That was what his heart wanted. And we signed it $10,000 less. So I had to go to my client and have him write this narrative. And we sent it into Rico. And of course, I never got fined or anything. It wasn't my fault. But that's why I say people get mad at the end of the day, because sometimes it's not the price that motivates you to take that offer. Do they have the deposit right there? Do they have better closing date? Do they have a firm offer? Whatever the case may be, does your seller clients like them better? They like the story that the agent wrote about them. That's why it helps you in bidding wars, right? Like the story that they wrote about them, that there's a really nice family and they want to, grow their kids up in the neighborhood, right? So, let's see here how much time we have. A couple minutes. What not to do with multiple offers in the bidding. Okay, logistics of dealing with multiple offers. Let's see what this kind of goes over what I was talking about, just going back and forth, keeping everybody in the loop, letting them know, okay, this is our final round, best and final offer. Give me your best now, right? What not to do with multiple offers in a bidding war. Drag out responding in an attempt to get even more offers. The odds of anything good coming out of intentionally dragging your feet is slim. Don't piss off the buyers you already have. So I've been in this where these guys are dragging it out and they're, it's hours and it's like midnight and we're still dealing with the offer situation. We're not getting answers. Don't do it. I find people who are got their stuff together. They're really organized. They come all the offers, the listing agent, they're calling you back. They're saying, okay, we did the first round in 15 minutes, even though they had 10 offers. Really and truly, how long does it take to explain even 10 offers? You're just explaining to your clients, okay, this one, it's a firm offer. It's this much. This is the closing date. This is the blurb they wrote about their, clients. They said they're pre-approved. I'm on to the second one. It doesn't take you long to do that. So don't be one of these people that are dragging it out. I hate getting stuck in those situations. It's true. The buyers tend to not cooperate. They get tired. They get cranky that you're sitting and waiting all night long for everything to happen. Don't get greedy, which is really the symptom to dragging your feet. Treat buyers with honesty and respect. And don't use a bad offer to try and get more from a good offer. I can tell how many offers, I can't tell you how many times sellers have gone to the well too many times in an attempt to get more money from a great buyer. So don't lie. Don't say, you're way below and you're talking to the guy who's the highest. We've all doing our market research. We all know what's happening in the neighborhood. So don't do that. It'll definitely backfire on you. And the biggest myth with multiple offers. Unfortunately, there's a large percentage of real estate agents who have no idea what they're doing when it comes to multiple offers. Not our agents, because we're going to go over this together, but other ones out there. Incompetence can cost a seller dearly when it comes to knowing how to handle multiple offers. One of the biggest myths is that a real estate agent cannot reveal information about offers on the table. It's far from the truth, and it's what costs the sellers from getting the maximum money of their home. So we cannot discuss the numbers, but you can say, you'll have 5 offers. I have very strong offers. Try and use some verbiage that encourages people to bring you more money. The more you deal with it, even if you don't know what to say, I don't mind you calling me and saying, I have to call this person back and I don't know how to tell them to increase their offer. Like, what should I say? We'll talk about it and we'll say sort of this is what you should call them back and say, right? To try and really push that offer up for your client. So that's your deal at the end of the day. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. You guys have any questions online there?
So let's say I have my.
Yeah, no, it's fine. All of us. We're together online and here.
of a buyer.
Yeah,
We're working for a buyer tonight. And we felt that the agent lied about the number of offers they got.
right.
We find out from Rico.
Yes, so that's actually a really, really good question because I didn't touch on that because the article didn't come across, it didn't remind me. When you get everybody to fill out the 801 and send it to you, there's a purpose behind that. Because people were doing this, people were lying at how many offers they had. And they were encouraging multiple bids without giving the truth. So if you feel like it's really sketch and you're like, I'm not sure that there's multiple offers going on here. You can, do the thing through Rico. You just go and you make the complaint online there, and Rico will make them produce all their 801s. Okay, so you have to be really careful as a listing agent. I find a lot of people get all their 801s and they never send them back. Okay, you should be sending them back. You know, at the bottom it says accepted, signed back, declined, right? Even up for all the people whose offer you're declining, you should be sending those back and sending them to them, because now you have something not only for you to know that I presented your offer, but also something to show your clients, because your clients might be mad at you. A lot of agents only get mad at the listing agent because you as the buyer agent are getting flack from your clients, right? Your clients are upset they lost the house, the wife really liked it, they don't feel you fought for it, what are you going to do, right? So then you in turn get mad at me as a listing agent, right? So ask for your 801 back if you're a buyer agent. Say, can I have my 801? I know you have to be nasty about it. I always say, can I please have my 801 back, please? Can you just get your, sign it, whether it was accepted, denied, declined, whatever, sign back. I just need something to show my clients, please. Right? And then I can show my clients and I go, see, sucks, we lost it, but let's go on and move on to the next one. Keep it all business, right?
We have to call the listing agent.
So before you want to take it to Rico, yeah, you can call them and you can say, can I have my 801? They have to return it to you. They're supposed to be returning it to you. That's why that bottom section is there for the listing agent to fill out and to say whether it was accepted or declined or what.
Most of the agents,
They never send them back.
never
You never see them. You send 801s all day long and you never see them back.
got back. I just never got back.
Especially when I'm losing bidding wars, I ask for them back. Yeah, because then I have something to show my client, Yeah, and as a listing agent, keep all your 801s carefully, keep all your offers you got carefully, and keep proof of when you showed them, because an 801 is easy to fill out and lie on. Of course, if you're an honest person, you're not lying on them. But say I think that they're lying, and now I say, okay, you said you presented, I sent it to you at 6 and you presented to your client at 7. Where's the proof, right? Rico, you'll have to prove to them, look, here I forwarded the email to my client, or here I sent them a text and said, hey, just sent you the offer at 8 or 7:01 that night. I sent it to them at 7 p.m. So always make sure you have some kind of paper trail whenever you're doing these transactions, just to keep track of what you're doing. Because God forbid you ever get a complaint, they ask for everything. If you got 15 offers, you better be able to present all 15 offers and all the 801s and prove when you sent all 15 to your client. Yeah. You can't just say I did. Rico wants proof, right? So
Okay.
I know they're the ones insuring us at the end of the day. So I know they sound really tough sometimes, and I often on here training going, oh, Rico, right? But honestly, they're keeping our insurance premiums down by keeping us good and honest workers and not letting crazy things happen at the end of the day, right? So it's okay. It's not bad. We don't pay terrible insurance. It's for what we do. So they cover a lot for it. Anyways, everybody have a very good evening. Tuesday morning, I will do on the flip side, how to win bidding wars for our buyers and some strategies we can use and how we protect our clients in the bidding situation from the buyer's side. All right. Everybody have a good evening.
Hi, Christy.
Yes. Goodbye. You there, Suresh? Did you have a question?
I just want to say, I'm a new agent. Thank you, Christine, for your wonderful presentation. That was,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
that was an awesome. Obviously, yes, there's a lot more questions coming down the road.
Anytime. I always tell everybody, call me, text me anytime, even late. I tell the agents, even if you think it's a little late, just text me if you're unsure of something, because it's better you check, right? And then do something wrong, especially as a new agent. So anytime. And then if you're a new agent, I encourage you to come in too, because I usually get you set up on, make sure your profiles and everything are good for,
So I will definitely, I will come by Tuesday.
Okay, sounds good. That sounds good.
Tuesday.
Tuesday morning, I'll do training 10:30 to 11:30. So anytime after 11:30.
Yeah, I'll come for that.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Thanks a lot, Christine.
Okay, see you
You have
then,
a
Stretch.
happy Easter. Take care.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.